Constipation is the worst. And I know it's the worst because it's something I've dealt with for most of my life, even when I didn't know I was dealing with it. Because get this, back in the day, I really thought that pooping once a week was normal. Turns out it's not. Want to know what else isn't normal? That monster-sized dump that no one warns you about right after your first baby, especially if he's a C-section baby. Because 2 days post-birth, I didn't think I'd make it through that terrifying bathroom stint. That was also the first time I learned that my husband uses a thing called poop sticks, which breaks up large poops so they flush. How did I not know this about him before we created life together? And now that I've warned you to stay on track with any stool softeners the baby nurses give you, let's talk about your everyday run-of-the-mill kind of constipation. Even though there's nothing really run-of-the-mill about sitting on a toilet for hours, wondering if it'll ever happen for you. After decades of dealing with a problem that I didn't even know I had, I did some things to improve that problem. Now that a daily poop schedule where I don't strain is my new norm, I want to help you make it your new norm. I'll just get straight to the point and start with the most effective approach. Because if you're all stopped up, you don't want to try 86 different supplements with a wait and see approach. You want your money and you want it now. Except change out the word money for poop and the company J.G. Wentworth for natural reference. Because that's exactly where you'll find this brand of Betaine HCL. Well, actually, you'll find it on my website right here, but in the end, that link takes you to natural reference. But I do appreciate it if you click through my link since it supports my channel. And hopefully you'll want to support my channel after the life-changing secrets I'm about to share. Here's why Betaine HCL works so well for constipation. When you eat food, especially food that's higher in protein like we do on a high-protein diet, your body relies on a two-step digestive process to break the food down into usable nutrients. The main components of this process are stomach acid and bile. From birth, your body takes care of this process naturally with no intervention from you. Until decades go by and your crappy diet leads you to rely on quick fixes that counteract the symptoms that come with a crappy diet, or the effects of relying on medications to cover those symptoms up. To get rid of nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, well, you know the jingle. You probably turn to something like this. But why trust dancing office workers dressed in Pepto-Bismol pink who point to their butt when singing about diarrhea? Because you think those people are spitting truth? Now, you might take something like this, or even something like this if you're not the type to fall for a musical about diarrhea, and think they're definitely spitting truth because that works. And it's true. Over-the-counter medications can provide temporary relief, but over time, the problem is medications like this actually increase stomach acid production, which makes the two-step digestive process ineffective. And that can lead to a whole bunch of other problems that you shouldn't have to deal with. Now, if you make it to the major league with prescription forms of these medications, you're definitely not helping yourself to long-term relief. Okay, this is the point where I have to tell you that I'm not a doctor. And if you take medications for any of these symptoms, you always need to consult your doctor before stopping them. Because I'm just a girl on YouTube who took her health into her own hands and got some pretty spectacular results. And when you read through some of my blogs to learn more about how digestion actually works, then you'll realize that Betaine HCL is the one supplement that can finally make all of your dreams come true. Well, actually there's more than one because Beet Flow is also recommended so that you don't fix constipation too well.
It's coming out of me like lava!
But that's why you should learn more about this process and then test out the supplements. I started this supplement routine back in 2013, and within a year, not only did I drop 90 pounds, but I also improved decades worth of symptoms that I had no idea I could improve. Symptoms like heartburn, nausea, constipation, occasional diarrhea, cystic acne, anxiety, and more were gone after decades of struggling with them. So this stuff works as long as you follow the right steps and then stick with it long enough to give it time to work. Because ain't no one clearing up a lifetime of constipation after just a few doses. If you want to learn more about Betaine HCL, I have full instructions on my website as well as blogs that get into more details. I'll link all of that up in the description below. There are some other supplements that you can try, but I recommend giving these a try in addition to HCL if you still need help. It's also a good idea to take this free digestion course just to make sure that these supplements are right for your chemistry. Otherwise, you could be wasting money while potentially making some problems worse. But if you take the simple chemistry test and prove to have the right chemistry, then taking vitamin C away from food early in the day can be an easy way to get things moving. But you want to make sure you're taking vitamin C as ascorbic acid. While taking a whole food form of vitamin C is a great idea for overall health, it's the ascorbic acid version that helps with constipation. Taking magnesium citrate early in the day can also get things moving. While different forms of magnesium have different uses, I found taking 1 magnesium citrate early in the day with food helps keep my digestion smooth. And if I need more help, I'll take a second one, but early in the day is always best, which means I usually don't have any additional vitamin C or magnesium after lunch. And if you're still having constipation issues, even after you've given HCL and these other supplements the good old college try, I've had a lot of success adding prebiotic fiber to my regimen. As a bonus, this kind of fiber helps with cravings and appetite suppression, which makes sticking to a high protein diet easier. The thing about supplements like this is, if you're not used to them, you'll want to start off slowly. Because if you take a dose and find some relief, so the next day you assume more is better, well, you know what they say happens when you assume. If you assume taking more of this is a good idea, you will have everything you ate the day before come running out of your or something like that. Just know prebiotics aren't right for everyone. Sometimes they can make symptoms of IBS even worse because of the rapid fermentation can cause gas, bloating, diarrhea, or sometimes worse than constipation. So this is definitely something you can try and something that's been effective for me, but you really need to work your dose up slowly if you're sensitive to things like this. Since adding directly into a glass of water isn't quite as tasteless as the bag claims, I add my prebiotic fiber into what I call my hunger-busting coffee drink. I add in an ounce of chameleon cold brew coffee, a few ounces of coconut milk, followed by 4 ounces of water, a handful of ice, and the prebiotic fiber. I also add collagen, which has all kinds of great benefits. I like this chocolate collagen from Equip because of the quality ingredients, plus it makes this coffee taste amazing. Also, there's no collagen taste like other forms of collagen protein I've tried. So I blend this up and stick to only 1 per day because one time I tried 2, and let's just say the next day didn't go well. So heed my warning when I say that you need to work your dose up slowly. If you're still dealing with constipation, even after giving Betaine HCL time to work, plus you tested out these other supplements, well, that's all I've got. Because like I said, I'm not a doctor, so I can only tell you what worked for me. And as someone who thought pooping only once per week was normal, I needed a lot of help. Also, the Betaine HCL I talked about at the start of this video only takes care of one side of digestion. If you want a smoother digestive system that takes care of both sides of digestion, then this video is a must watch, especially since you should never take HCL without also supplementing with Beet Flow. Because that's like having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without jelly, except not really, because skipping the jelly won't have you urgently running to the toilet like skipping Beet Flow could.